Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, we're going to jump to Canada, the Great White North, for this reading. Just did a live with Marina and Gary on Marina's channel, Heart Center Tarot. Please go check out Marina's channel if you would, please. Give her a subscribe. She is just about to eclipse 4,500 subscribers, and if you go check her out, she's got interesting readings. Subscription costs you nothing, and it'll make her so happy to beat 4,500 by the holidays. She is based in Alberta, Canada, and we talked about Canadian politics for a bit. Trudeau's facing pressure from his own Liberal Party after his top finance minister quit. She was critical of his handling of the economy, and especially of how he's planning on handling Trump's threats of tariffs. Now, Doug Ford, who's I believe the Premier of Ontario, he's got his opinions on how to handle Trump's tariffs, which is basically to kind of boldly and brashly say, oh, bring it. You know, we supply a lot of power to about 1.5 million households in the Northeast, and, you know, we can cut off the power. Your move. You know, sure, Trump could still play hardball and say, yeah, we're going to put 25% tariffs. That's going to be not so happy for the 1.5 million households that lose their access to Canadian electricity, which will put a burden on the American electrical grid and will cause electrical prices to increase. And I would imagine for folks in that area that were serviced by Canada, their prices are going to go up more. And that's going to be kind of inflationary, right? Because businesses, if their electricity goes up, well, they're going to pass those costs on to their customers to go along with the tariffs. Trudeau right now, he's leading a minority government. The Liberal Party does not have a majority of the seats, and so they have teamed up with, I think it's called the NDF. It's another left-leaning party to get legislation passed. But the leader of that party is basically telling Trudeau, I want you to resign so we can select a new leader to lead the country. The NDP basically called on Trudeau to resign, and if Trudeau doesn't, this can lead to what is known as a no-confidence vote. For folks in the United States, we really don't have this, but and if Trudeau does not survive the no-confidence vote, it basically triggers the elections. Currently, the Conservative Party stands a really strong chance of taking over the government if they were to have elections early next year. So Trudeau has basically a couple of options to play with. One, he can fight the no confidence vote, refuse to resign. There would likely be a no confidence vote in the spring, and likely he would be voted out, because unless he can come up with something that would convince the NDP's leader and the New Democratic Party, by the way, the leader in that party to support him, he won't have a majority. And then you're handing over the power to the conservative parties. If Trudeau does step down, then it's incumbent on the Liberal Party and the NDP to come up with a mutually agreeable prime minister to run the country. There will be elections. I believe it's in 2026 is when the next elections are. And that gives the Liberal Party and the NDP time to hopefully erode the popular support that the Conservative Party currently is enjoying. So, you know, what does Trudeau want? Does he want to be in power? Or does he want the Liberals to be in power? Because it seems unlikely that he will get both. So let's look at the energy around Justin Trudeau with his top finance cabinet minister resigning, the head of the New Democratic Party asking him to step down. Merry Christmas, everyone. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. What's going on with Justin Trudeau right now? Foundation of the reading is the Nine of Cups. The hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled, sitting in charge. And basically there's a smugness to this. He's been the prime minister for about 10 years. He's had a pretty good run, although the Liberal Party has been losing in popularity to the point where they're currently a minority government. So this could be something that, it was okay to be brash several years ago, but maybe not so good now. Crossed with the Ace of Cups. Strong emotions. Underneath is the King of Pentacles. He might think that he can stay in power despite this argument because he's got financial backing to keep him in place. Or he's got the money, therefore he's got the ability to stay in. Now, it could also be that there's some push against him because of financial things that he's done. Whether this is your finance minister underneath it is trying to say, hey, look, things aren't as rosy as you believe they are. But there's like this disconnect with Justin Trudeau is what I'm getting. There's a disconnect between where he thinks he is and where he should be. That disconnect could be driven by money. Or it could just be driven by his passion for the job, and he's blinded by that passion. In the past, you got the Wheel of Fortune. He's managed to stay in power, but his time, every time that wheel goes around, there's a chance that he will not be in power anymore. And sometimes it's just your time. You don't want to overstay your welcome. In the chat during the live with Marina, somebody had typed in, because I think Trudeau's, again, been in for 10, 11, 12 years. And somebody posted in there like, oh, if that were the case, Obama would have been president longer because we have term limits. Canada doesn't. But the thing with Obama is that he's beloved likely because he came in when everything was crap and he left when everything was good. He didn't overstay his welcome. Leave them hungry for more. Maybe if he stayed in for another 4 years, people would start getting tired of him. Basically his poop would stink. It doesn't stink right now, we'd like to think. But the longer somebody's in there, the more bored people get. They don't always appreciate what they have until they don't have it. So it could be just a case that Trudeau's shelf life is over. It maybe was over a while ago, and maybe he should have stepped down, at year 9 while he still had a really strong reputation. That sort of thing. You know what I mean? Current situation is the High Priestess. He's got, he's a bright guy and he's got good advisors. And now he needs to make a decision about, this is also about the future of his party. Does he want his party in power? Does he step down? Does he stay in? He's got to make a wise decision with that. I don't know who's guiding or counseling him with it. Overarching energy is the Ten of Coins. The finance minister, when she resigned, commented about the high inflation in Canada, the economy. In the U.S., presidents win and lose elections. Political parties win and lose elections based on the economy. If people want to change, they want to change. It doesn't matter how wise you've been guiding your country through a pandemic, because they've all forgotten about that. All they care about is the money here and now. Lesson to be learned is the Eight of Swords. He's not trapped in this position. He doesn't need to stay. He could leave. Canada's also not trapped with him, and I think this is also kind of the message to him. Is like, you can walk away. You don't have to serve the whole thing. Maybe he's just embarrassed about resigning. Outcome is the Seven of Coins. Evaluation. I do think that Trudeau is going to look at the whole situation here. This is probably a bit of ego. If he's got ego that's keeping him in there, like there's nobody better than me at this position, he kind of needs to check himself, because he's going to get trapped by his own ego, and he needs to evaluate things. What's better for the country? Is it going to be him in charge, losing a no confidence? He basically, to stay in charge, he needs to win a no confidence vote, and then, you know, he gets to be in charge until the next election. Or at least there's a threat of a no confidence vote. The downside is that if he wants to stay in charge, there is a no confidence vote, and there's a really strong likelihood that he will not come out on top on that no confidence vote. And now you're basically handing the country over to the Conservative Party a year sooner than they might get it otherwise. Or in a year's time, a lot can happen. You could erode their popularity. Maybe they don't have as strong of a mandate right now. My friends in Canada that live in Ontario, you know, they like Doug Ford a lot, and they're really tired of Trudeau. And it hurts me to hear him say that, because Trudeau seems like he's done some good things for the country, and he's popular outside the country. He's very popular in the U.S., but you know, sometimes you F around, you have to find out. Okay, for Carter, will Trudeau step down either in the next month or two? Will Trudeau step down? Four of Coins, trying to hold on to power, trying to hold on. The Hermit, looking for a way out. The Lover's card, trying to find those agreements. The Death card, look at those major arcana underneath here. Page of Pentacles, his finance minister is underneath this. He's trying to hold on to power, trying to create new agreements, trying to lead his party forward. But it's like his time is here. It's time for him to step down, but he's not. It's like he doesn't want to leave. Maybe more what it is that he's not letting people he knows until he has an agreement in place. It's like he wants to name his successor. How about that? It's like, I'm not ready to leave yet until I can name my successor. Let's figure out who this is, and then we can step down and bring this new person in. That's kind of the vibe. If left to his own devices, I don't think he would step down. But I think this is also the other party's like, look, you've got to step down. They're going to force the issue. It's those alliances. Or those alliances are going to leave. We're going to terminate it. And your time as the head of the government is going to be short. If Trudeau has to go through a no confidence vote, how will that turn out? Will he survive a no confidence vote? I don't have confidence that he would survive a no confidence vote. Would Trudeau survive a no confidence vote? Nope. He'd be sent packing. People want to be heard. They don't know what they want, but they know they don't want him, basically. And then get ready for the elections coming up. And get ready for MAGA. I'm not saying that Canadians aren't appreciative of it, but people don't always appreciate how good things are at the time that they have them. If you stick around too long, again, it's leaving the party. It's leaving the show while you still have popularity and you're still near the top, because then you become revered. People will forget the crappy stuff and they'll remember the good stuff. If you overstay your welcome, they're just tired of you. And it takes longer to bounce back from that. Again, it's almost better to retire at the top or just past the apex of the top. You know, go off into the sunset a hero, and then, you know, let somebody else take the heat for a while, and maybe the other party wins for a little bit, and then you come racing back in like a knight in shining armor to rescue the country again, and you get to go through that honeymoon period all over again. Good luck, Canada. You're going to need it. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. But I do hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.